The last time we saw Kanye sit down with this dude for an interview or podcast or whatever that is, the most memorable thing was this.
Had to get the hooligans up here. We're gonna take this pussy nigga out. Yo, Dot, I got you.
Right before the most forgettable diss track I've ever heard. But we are not here to talk about that. Right now, I just want to talk about something that I didn't expect to say in 2025. I actually liked a Kanye interview for a good reason. No drama, no weird rants, just good vibes. Everything was good, man. And I got to learn more about this current Kanye compared to the one that I was a fan of before everything started to go downhill for him. Usually, Kanye is always on the headlines, man. He always says some crazy shit. You cannot predict his next move. And I'm glad to see that he's kinda back in control, it seems. But this podcast came out after he pulled that little stunt with his wife at the Grammys. This isn't the first stunt they've pulled, right? It's not like it was the first time seeing his wife like that. A lot of people we've seen Kanye's wife like that a lot of times. Now we are so desensitized, and it's a very sad way to think about it, but it is what it is, at this point. Like, there's nothing we can do because they just keep on doing it, like, what can you do? What can you do at this point? So Kanye sat down with this guy who I am not that familiar with, but they seem like they are friends or something like that. But it's just how much he was glazing Kanye the last time. It became so uncomfortable, man. But I guess the comments got to him because he cleaned it up this time. He was very professional and he slowed down a bit. So they had like a pretty decent conversation where they discussed his relationship with his kids, his upcoming album Bully, and why he named it that, and when it's coming out, why he officially changed his name to Yeah. I think people already knew that or something. I don't know if this was the first time talking about it, but it's the first time I heard him talk about it. So he also talked about the hypocrisy of the music industry. But really, there are three things that he talked about here that I have an opinion on. The first one, him apparently using AI in his music and stuff.
Now the vocals that people like, stay away from AI. It's a more negative reaction than auto-tune. And I remember like I did auto-tune because people thought, they're like, man, this auto-tune is trash. As an artist, I could take anything. I could sell a piece of shit for like $10 million and shit, and shit.
I am a fan of Kanye. I was a fan of Kanye, I should say. I didn't listen to the last album, like Vouchers 2 or something. I listened to the first one because I was coming from Donda. Donda was a good album. So coming from that, I thought maybe this was going to be good as well. And it just went down the fucking gutter. And I was like, why would I listen to a part 2 if this was so bad? I understand some people enjoyed it, but I was kind of clocking out. He really has to prove people wrong because a lot of people think, yeah, he's done. He fell off. He's washed. I don't think so. I think he still has some gas in the tank. Hopefully, he proves that in this upcoming album. So the AI thing, I actually didn't know about. I saw a music video that he released for one of the songs in Vultures, and it was AI, right? I kind of felt meh. I guess that's the best way to say it. I didn't care. It's not something that I looked at and I went, "Oh my god, it's AI." It's actually a conversation that's been had with people saying AI is actually bad. It is going to take jobs and stuff. I don't think AI is that bad, right? But I understand where they're coming from. But the fact that AI isn't creating anything yet. It's only using images, sounds, like everything that is on the internet. That's what it's using to create these other things. So it is not creating its own music or whatever, right? It's using other components found all over the place to make this one thing, right? I think it's still cute for now until maybe it becomes like autonomous and stuff and starts creating its own crazy stuff. Then I'll say, okay, now chill out. I didn't think much about that video because it didn't seem like it hurt anyone. Maybe he was trying to send a message or something like that. That's what I thought.
There's still a lot to do. It's like the next version of sampling. Like when sampling happened, like the musicians, they hated it. And when EDM came in, there was musicians that hated that. And there was people who hated it, auto-tune. And there's people who hate the concept of AI. It's like people hated the ass shots. Then it became like a standard. Like, that's what I said about the visuals, the AI. It's like, AI ain't made nothing yet that I could jerk off to.
It seems like he is fully dialed in on this AI thing. And he gave us a snippet of like how it's done, how he does it or something like that, where he uses Lil Artie's voice, like rapping over a beat or whatever, and then switches that into him.
Change his voice to my voice.
If you ain't suck a dick, movies, you can get the fuck up on my shit.
If you ain't suck a dick, movies, you can get the fuck up on my shit.
it's weird. When I
So
heard
he
that, I was
used his like
very
cadence and whatever.
uncomfortable after like knowing how it's made, and like it's like just uncomfortable. Man, there's a lot of things that as humans we cannot explain. When people tell you that it's uncomfortable to see AI do what it's doing, understand it, because it is true that people really do be uncomfortable around AI and stuff. But on the other hand, I understand what he's saying, because he spoke about how people also didn't like sampling on beats, right? But now it's like one of the best things. I like beats that are sampled. So in that manner, if you were to explain it that way, I would understand maybe. But it's still something that you cannot fight people on. This is not something that we can control as people that like we feel uncomfortable. Like I felt very uncomfortable seeing the process of him switching that stuff. It feels like he doesn't have to do anything anymore, right? Which he said as well. He said like he has a lot of money now. He's done the music thing. He's done so many things that like he can do whatever he wants now. That's what he said, right? So I guess if he thinks it's art, I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of it. Like personally, that's my opinion, right? Maybe some people like it. Maybe my opinion is a bit odd or something, but I don't think it's going to go well with a lot of fans. If imagine his whole album is like a bunch of other people doing raps and then him replacing those voices with his own. Like it's like cheating in a way because he doesn't have to write or something. He can just get like somebody else to do it, right? He can get that somebody else to also do the voicing or whatever, and then he just switches it into his own voice, and then there you have it. It's very like unauthentic, and I don't think people would just accept AI as a whole just cause Kanye co-signs it or something. What the hell? Nah. So that was one thing. The second thing is his opinion on the Drake versus Kendrick beef. And I'm only going to talk about this for a little minute.
So Kendrick killed Drake. He's dead.
Yeah, for now.
A lot of Drake fans didn't take anything like said seriously because they will ride or die for Drake. We've seen the mainstream Drake fans, you've seen it on Twitter, you've seen it everywhere. That Drake fans are diehard, like they are not willing to take an L. Every time Kendrick went up, they found a way to put him down or something like that, and it didn't work. But yeah, again, we're not here to talk about Drake, we're here to talk about Kanye. The last thing is mental health. And this is where I felt like Kanye was most human because he spoke about it. He didn't speak about it the same way he spoke about it in the previous interview because there he was kind of doing his ranting while talking about it. So it didn't resonate with me that much. But this time around, he spoke as Kanye. He didn't speak as this big ego, whatever that he was. For me to get that moment of humanity from Kanye because he's like a personality, man. So it's kind of satisfying in a way to hear him speak about this. I thought he would never address it like an illness or something, but here he actually said like, okay, I am autistic or something like that, right? That's what he said because people were saying like he was bipolar or something like that. So he said I was taking like medicine for being bipolar or whatever, and I stopped because I found out it was like actually autism or something, and that's why he goes on these rants and stuff. And like I'm not one of the people who are ready to kick him while he's down. I will criticize some of the stuff that he says. I will criticize his albums or music, whatever he drops. But you won't find me saying like, nah, he's washed or whatever. Because we are not dealing with a normal case here. Like my first ever video on this channel said, and how I agreed with Cat Williams when he said Kanye is a special case and we should be treating him like a special case.
Kendrick's on that timing, and like that, Kendrick says, fuck the big three, nigga, it's just big me.
You know what? It's interesting because even future different people, we just let that pass. And it was interesting because just as men, just as kings, how will we let that idea pass? I'm the greatest that ever existed. And other people, they shouldn't feel that way because I'm here.
Yeah.
And I think it's time for redemption. Kendrick went for their next, and now they are proving themselves. And it's time for Kanye to prove himself as well. So hopefully his upcoming album, Bully, is actually good. I would really like that. And with that, I've been your boy Teo, and these were my opinions. What are yours? Let me know down in the comments. Like the video and subscribe for more content. See you next time. Alright.